Good afternoon, my name is Juana Valentina Castro Bernal, and today I am going to talk about female genital mutilation, and I am going to analyze if it is a tradition or a torture. To begin, I would like to explain to you what a female genital mutilation or FGM is. It is a process through which the partial or total removal of the reproductive organs of women of at different ages is carried out for cultural purposes. And this practice is considered as the rite of transition to maturity of a woman. Although it is also performed many times to control the sexuality of the girl in the future. This practice has generated polemic over the years because, although for many communities it is seen as a tradition to become like socially accepted, but for the rest of the world it is considered as such as a dangerous act to be physical and mental health for women who go through this process. Okay, the story of this practice is that it is said that FGM started 4,000 years ago in Egypt, as some mummies found were genital mutilated. From there, this tradition spread throughout the rest of Africa, and settled into Central African area. Nowadays, this practice is carried out in at least 28 African countries, according to the World Health Organization, which indicates that it still has strong influences in some communities that have the conviction that it reduces women libido, and this helps them to resist the temptation of extramarital affairs. Okay, now I am going to talk about why is it culturally as accepted. This type of mutilation is culturally accepted since it is associated with models of femininity and modesty and respect. In many communities, it is believed that girls become beings of purity at the moment of eliminating from their body those parts that are considered impure and harmful to their life. As a consequence of that, for many natives of these cultures, this procedure is more than necessary when a girl approaches the age of maturity. Okay, FGM is considered a very dangerous practice by many governmental and non governmental organizations due to the long term physical and psychological consequences that it leaves in women. For example, it leaves urinary infections, sexual or menstrual problems, complication in childbirth, etc. Also, it has immediate complication such as very intense pain, fever, bleeding, shock, or inflammation, or eventually it could be death. The most alarming fact is that in most cases, the necessary sanitary standards are not used, and it creates a risk of infection. Now, I am going to talk about the fight against FGM. Nowadays, many organizations, such as a World Health Organization or UNICEF or the United Nations for Population Activities, seek to eradicate this practice. As a consequence of that, since 2003, February the 6th is the World Day of Zero Tolerance against genital female mutilation. And in 2007, UNFPA and UNICEF launched the joint program on female genital mutilation or cutting, which aims to ensure that this practice is abandoned as soon as possible. Um, Now, based on the previous information, I want to make an analysis, and I can say that it is undeniable that FGM is a harmful practice for women, and even this process is involuntary. So many girls are submitted to the mutilation by their family or community members. For this reason, FGM become reprehensible, and it has been prohibited, forbidden around the world. Since in the light of the law, the social-cultural context cannot be separated from human rights, which means that some practices must be suspended when they collide with the ethics, moral, and integrity of a person. Um, Also, it is important to highlight that the prohibition of FGM does not seek to attack the culture, since these communities are very important for the story and development of Africa. But however, many organizations and cultural and social leaders seek to eradicate this tradition to benefit girls who will suffer from this in the future. With this, they can avoid many complications in short and long term. To conclude, I would like to say that no woman deserves to be tortured or hurted without having any other option to comply with a tradition, and much less to be considered sexually accepted or worthy. And this practice must disappear from the whole world. Thanks for your